the next thing to look at is how do you get people to register onto your webinar? So into the chat box. So here's a point to note. I've talked for about 20 minutes. That feels a bit too long. So I'm now going into the chat box to get some interaction. When you're prompted to turn up to register a webinar, what is it that makes you do that? Into the chat box. What are the reasons that gets you into a webinar or a virtual workshop? And we just had Tim joining us. I missed the beep. So what are people saying? So Lars is saying subject matter, absolutely key. If someone told me I'm going to run a webinar on how to run a webinar, do you think I'd attend, Ashley? No, not at all. It's got to be interesting. It's got to be relevant. You know, it's got to be, and Marcus said subject, interesting topic. Susan said interesting subject. Joe said subject matter. Emmanuel said topic. Rebecca said relevance, usefulness. Clara said, and Claire, you get the gold star, hitting a pain point. Duncan gets a gold star, something that will solve a problem. This is all about subjects and relevance. So Jigner has also added something in, confidence in the provider. So this is really key, this stuff. So how do you get people to register? And you've all said, you've got to pick a topic that is relevant and solves a pain point. People have got to be motivated to solve it. It could be relevant, but if they're not motivated to solve it, they won't turn up. So these are the things, and I'm going to show you a process of how to get some of this stuff. You need a catchy title that promises value. Yeah, very simply, if it sounds deathly boring, you will not get people to register. You need objectives that promise value and raise curiosity. You know, what are the five things, the so-and-so model, you know, what are people going to get as a result of attending? You've got to choose a time that's appropriate. And also, there is a time and a place to rerun a webinar, but you've got to be really conscious of, have I overdone it? To get people to register, if it's the more the merrier, you've got to spread the message far and wide. And an email marketing tool really does help assist with the registrations. I cannot stress this more. The bigger the size of your list, the easier it is to get people to register. Now, the reality is people buy emotionally, not rationally. And it's the same for webinars. So I see a lot of accountants do their marketing, and the standard one on their website is, I'm going to help you save tax and I'm going to help you increase your profit, Ashley, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nobody ever buys your services because of that. It's far too rational. People buy emotionally. They buy it for a reason. I saw a great tagline on an accountant's LinkedIn banner that said, we don't do spreadsheets, we do bucket lists. And I thought, wow, it was all about, we help you live the life you want. It's all about that emotional driver. You know, we give you time back with a family. You know, go back to your client personas. What is a pain point for them? They're never going to give you the bookkeeping to give you the bookkeeping. Why? What is it that by giving the bookkeeping is going to help them? What are those pain points that are really going to help them with that? And this is what we do literally, isn't it, Ashley, before every single marketing webinar. Every single marketing webinar is, we've got an idea of what we know the topic is. And that's normally because our members have been telling us about it, isn't it, Ashley?
Yeah.
You know, big thing is listen to what your clients are saying. Listen to more what your ideal clients are saying, because they will tell you, what are my pain points? What are my frustrations? And so the first thing we do is we normally have an idea-ish for a topic, don't we? And then we start, so there is, I'm pretty sure I built the same thing for this workshop as well. What are people's frustrations?
Yeah, you did. You've got a document that you always use whenever you build something. So
yeah,
it's set there.
What are their frustrations? And then we think about, what is their one big fear? You know, what's their massive one big fear? And we know that the massive one big fear for people that are here today is not about cannot run webinars. It goes deeper on that. We know that it's, I know I'm going to lose my client base. I'm going to have churn, and I don't know how to build something that allows me to get it back again. That was that one big fear, wasn't it? If I can't do this, I'm going to lose clients. I'm going to have to make people redundant. I don't want to go there. So we really, and that one big fear is that big emotional pain point. We then look at the 3 wants. And what you may have noticed is that this slide right back here, we're all about positioning. We understand your world. We understand your fears. We understand your frustrations. Why is it hard? These all came out of that thinking. These aren't here by chance, these slides. And we also went into the wants. You know, what would happen if you could do this? What would be the big goal? And we thought about this. And this was right in what we were thinking about. So do that. What are the one big goals? And we said our one big goal was not necessarily I can win clients at will, but it's I can win clients and have the confidence that I can grow. So what should your synopsis contain? So every webinar starts with a synopsis, and this is your synopsis is your title and your objectives. And once you've done that, 3 frustrations, 1 big fear, 3 wants, and 1 big goal, you should be able to almost write this yourself. You know, what in the terms of the title, it should promise specific value. It should be tailored to your audience analysis and client personas. And there's 3 to 6 objectives. And a great way to write the objectives is forget about SMART, forget about outcome-based stuff. Think about delegates who attend will leave and then finish the sentence. And then you might want to put 1 to 5 paragraphs of context, which is quite useful for writing copy for the webinar. And for our members, if you haven't already, there is this guide on how to choose your title and synopsis for the webinar. It's a cheat sheet. It's in the membership site. It's already there for you. We show you the exact steps that we're kind of going a little bit on a high level about. So I'm just going to put into ready for a group discussion that we're about to do. Is something for you just to click and download for the group discussion. Because guess what? We're going to be doing something, all of us, in a group discussion together. So that's there for you to download. It's in the chat box. And how do you get your message out there? We've shown this time and time and time again. It is about, and another tip for you is when you're running these things, put the camera at the top and then you can see people so you're not looking over to the left and the right. So I can see people, I'm looking towards people when I'm doing the workshops. I've got all of your camera, I've got your pictures up here, so I'm looking into people. It's not down here because otherwise I stop making eye contact. So remember the purpose of your webinar. So if you think about how to get your messages out, remember the purpose. If it's just to inform clients, then only inform clients. If it's to get clients plus other people, then you have to think a bit wider. You know, we email our list multiple times. And I'll take you through exactly when we email our list. We do it 5 minutes before the webinar starts. That is the most useful one we send to get signups for our webinar. We do it the morning of the webinar. We do it the day before the webinar. We then do it the Sunday afternoon, evening of the week that we're running the webinar. And then we do it Thursday before 9 a.m. of the week before we run the webinar. So that's Thursday, Sunday, day before, morning of the webinar, 5 minutes before. Now, if we run it on a Tuesday, we won't do it the day before. We get the most signups on the Thursday, the first one, and then the very last one. So don't forget, sending an email out to your list of people that have not signed up saying we go live in 5 minutes is probably the most powerful email that you can send to get people to turn up. We also, for people that have registered, remind them on the morning of the webinar, by the way, you're meant to be coming. We also remind them 5 minutes beforehand with links to here are the details. We're going live. See you shortly on the other side. Now, a lot of people forget with webinars. They think, oh, it needs to be done by social media and email. If you're using it to get people to convert or to warm up prospects, then ring them up beforehand and personally invite them. And I know it sounds silly, but ring them up. And if they're really important, record them a short video. and send them a short video and say a special invite for, and say, I've recorded this for you because this is why I think it's going to be useful. Now, if you think that actually with our prospect, we don't do this actually, but it's something that we might start to do. You know, a friend of mine did this, and she sent this to 2 people, you know, a special invite for, she'd even put a little video that she'd recorded for them. And those 2 people were 2 of the 13 that turned up, and they were the 2 people that bought. So actually, you know, personalizing it and going, right, if this is something that we really want to happen. So let's say, for example, we were about to run something on if you're running something, say on getting people onto Receipt Bank and why you want to get them onto Receipt Bank. Go down your list of clients and go, who's not on Receipt Bank? Who could really do with being on Receipt Bank because they have these pain points? And get your team to ring them up and say, I'd love for you to attend this because it's going to help you understand why this, and this.